Thank you so much for coming back to my channel. If you're new, hey, my name's Elizabeth. Today I'm going to be showing you how you really only need one palette to do your whole face. If you're not somebody who's like totally in love with makeup but you still want to wear makeup, or you don't have a whole lot of money to invest in a whole bunch of makeup, I totally understand. I was there at one point in time. But today I'm going to be showing you how you can use basically one palette to do your whole face. Now I'm not saying like if you're a dark skinned girl or you need some extra coverage like me, you can get away with using a whole palette. I am going to be using moisturizer because, you know, my face needs some moisturizing. I'm going to be using a primer, and I'm going to be using a foundation, and of course mascara. But everything else, setting, bronzing, highlight, even your lips, you can use using a palette. Today I'm going to be using the Too Faced Sweet Peach palette because this is my favorite palette right now. I love this palette so much. But seriously, you can go to XOXO and you can go pick up a neutral palette and you can do your whole face using this. I'll probably do another video using this palette or another XOXO palette doing my whole face because they're affordable. But I know this palette is super popular right now. So if you have it, maybe tag along and see how this goes. So the first thing that I'm going to be doing is priming my face. I'm just using a water primer, the Skin Dew. It's a setting spray, but I find it better to like hold everything on my face. So I'm just going through and setting my face with that. Not setting, priming. All of my brushes here are affordable too. I'm not using any MAC brushes. The most expensive brush that I probably have is, seriously, this, because it was $1.29. Oh, well, I guess you could count my beauty blender, but I don't think I'm going to be using that too much in this video. So the first thing that we do, of course, I already moisturized, already washed my hands, just primed my face. I'm going in with my Covergirl Outlast Stay Luminous foundation. And I'm going to be putting just a couple pumps, oh no, I think I'm running out, on my face. And just spreading that around. I bought these paddle brushes for like $5 on eBay. There was like 6 of them and I bought it for $5. And you're probably freaking out. You're probably like, oh my gosh, you didn't conceal your face. Well, hold your horses. I'm getting there. This is definitely going to be more of an everyday look. It's not going to be full glam. So that means we're not going full glam. So I'm not going to be doing like under eye brightening. I'm not going to be doing full on concealer. I'm so sorry. That's my cat trying to escape my room. If you don't have the money and you have this palette but you don't have a concealer, you can most definitely use this shade of green, Bless Her Heart. You can use Bless Her Heart to conceal, but I personally like to use my Maybelline Cover Stick. This is green and it just helps conceal redness. So I'm just going to go through and put that on, but you can most definitely use that green, and as long as you blend it out, you'll be all good, girl. Now I'm going to show you. I'm going to put a little bit of that on my finger, just rubbing it on my finger. Okay, now, and I want to bring it to your attention, I am not using my full face. I'm not going full glam. I'm going to school. So you might see some stuff you don't like, but I hope you do like this video. So next I'm going to be picking up my powder brush, and I'm going to be dipping that into Peaches and Cream. And I'm just setting my face with this. as always, I like to go back in after I set my face and just prime my eyelids with my foundation. Next, I'm going to be working on my brows. I'm going to be using the Coastal Scents BRC S18 brush. It's an angled brush. I actually like it way more than the Anastasia, like the angled brush. And I'm going to be using Charmed, I'm sure, to fill in my brows. I already spoolied my brows. So you really can just go in and fill in real quick. Let me grab my spoolie. I'm not going to be cutting my brows out or doing like a whole bunch of concealing. But if I make a mistake, grabbing my foundation brush and fixing it. See, look. We're getting there. This is definitely, for me personally, this is definitely more of a everyday brow. It's not too heavy, and I'm not putting that much effort into it. Ooh. Again, the only shade I'm using is the Charmed, I'm sure, to fill in. And if you really want to cut out your brows, I'm sure you can use you definitely can. You can use your foundation and just a concealer brush just to cut them out. You don't need any fancy concealer. You don't need to go buying extra products. I always mess up that part of my brow. We're almost there. I just realized I forgot to blend out some green. Oh, the mistakes I make. Well, that's okay, because I'm not perfect. Okay, like I said, I'm not doing a full glam brow. My brows aren't going to be perfect. I don't want them to be perfect. They do look a little bit uneven, and I'm trying to fill that in, fixing that. And I think that's the best I'm going to get them, because my brows are actually like naturally super, super duper uneven. Next thing I'm going to be going in and doing is, I like to bronze my face up and everything. So what I'm going to be doing is I'm trying to find my bronzing brush. Okay, this is actually a blush brush, but I personally use this for bronzing. And I'm going to be going in with Summer Yum and just tapping that into my skin. If you want to skip this step, you are more than welcome to. If you don't have time to bronze your skin, go ahead and fast forward. But I personally, I love this palette so much. My favorite shade in here is Bellini. But I'm really not like a huge, like, oh my god, I gotta go have the highest, most expensive things. But I really, really love this palette. I just have this one spot that just doesn't want to cover up. There we go. Fixed it. So that's where we're at. Next, I'm going to be going in and I'm just taking my blush brush. This is from Crown Brushes. And I'm going to be going in and I'm taking Candied Peach, and I'm just dipping it in ever so gently and sweeping that across my cheeks. I personally like a lot more blush than what's considered normal. I feel like it adds a lot of color to my face. My face gets so itchy around my nose when I apply makeup. I don't know why, that's just what my body does. And if you want to apply blush, go ahead. I like to bring the blush up into my temples just to give me some more color to my face. Next, we're going to be going in and we're doing our eyes. I am so excited. So first, I'm going to be setting my eyelids with Peaches and Cream. And I'm just tapping that in. And I'm not doing anything like, again, I'm not doing anything super glam. If you're wanting super glam, go watch another video. Please don't leave any hate. So I'm just going in, making sure I tap that up all the way to my brow. Next, I'm going to be grabbing my Coastal Scents BRC SO8 brush. And I'm going to be grabbing Georgia. Tapping that on and just bring that up into my upper part of my lid. I'm also taking this again. I'm taking Georgia and I'm just putting that underneath all the way through. This is more of my transition shade, and so whenever I blend everything out, it all blends together very evenly. I put more blush on this side of my face than I did the other side. There we go, fixed. Next, I'm going to be grabbing my Wet n Wild blending brush. And I'm going to be dipping into Peach Pit, tapping that in, and just putting that in the outer corner of my eye, gently. I don't want a whole lot of pigment from it, so I'm really holding it far away. The brush far, like my hand, holding my brush more towards the end. That way I don't have so much pressure going onto the tip of the brush, and by doing that, that would give me a lot more pigment. So I just want something more natural looking. So I'm just going in and tapping that on. This is what you should have. And I'm just going to go in and kind of blend this out a little bit. Going back in on the other side. This is the first day it's been sunny out for like what it seems like forever. If you want extra pigment, if you want your outer corner to be dark, you want this to be more of a dark look, you can definitely go in with the same brush that I used for Georgia. You can go in and add Delectable, or you can add like one of these blacks. So I'll just show you. I'm just really going to just tap that in. And then I'm going to go back in with my Wet n Wild brush. So this is where you should be at. Next, I'm going to take my finger and my middle finger, and I'm going to be adding Caramelized to the middle of my lid. Then what I like to do, just to make sure everything's blended together, I'm going to take my Wet n Wild brush again and just kind of go through and blend it all together so you have a seamless, easy look. If you personally want, you can add a highlight to your inner corner. I'm going to be using Nectar with my index finger. And just adding that in ever so gently. I don't want too much. So you've done the top lid. Let's do the bottom lid. I'm going to be going back in with Peach Pit. Yeah. And smoking out that bottom lash line. That was an attractive look, wasn't it? I'm going to be going in with my Coastal Scents BR, oh my gosh, where is it? BRC SO8. Adding just a titch of black. I'm putting that in to really, I accidentally got so much freaking, I got it like all the way down my nose. So I've smoked out my bottom lash line. If you want, you can go in to line your eyes with a Wet n Wild, like a white or a cream peach. But because this tutorial is just going to be talking about how to use a whole palette, I'm going to find my other angled brush. La-di-da-di-da. Looking for it. Okay, I'm just going to be using this brush. And I'm going to be taking the same color that I used to set my whole, like my eye with. I'm going to be taking Peaches and Cream and putting that on my bottom lash line. The reason why I'm doing this is because if you want to have like your eyes look more open and you look less tired, you use a lighter color on your bottom lash line. But because I'm not going out and I'm not going and spending like another 99 cents on a eyeliner, you can use this palette. You can use a light color on your bottom lash line. Now, because I want my top waterline to look like I have lashes for days, I'm going to be going in with the same angled brush that I used on my eyebrows. And I'm going to be going in and I'm going to be getting black. And I'm going to be taking this and putting it up into my top lash line. I personally do this all the time. When I go to tight line my waterline on top of my lashes, I don't use a pencil. That is because I have super watery eyes, and I've noticed whenever I use a pencil, I get raccoon eye like 10 minutes after I do my face. For some strange reason, whenever I use a powder, I don't get raccoon eye. It stays on all day unless I start crying, and I cry all the time. But that's my little life hack for y'all. Just be careful not to get any powder in your eye, because that does kind of hurt a little bit. Okay, we are almost done. Like I said, you can't magically make mascara out of a palette, so I am going to be using mascara. Today, I'm going to be using the Maybelline Lash Sensational Mascara. This is my favorite drugstore mascara. This is my favorite mascara in general. I spent like $8 on this, and I really do love it. I love the brush, and I love what it does for my lashes. If you have the extra time and you want to apply fake lashes, get it. Do it. Apply them. Whoa. Look at those. Oh. We're getting somewhere. This seriously happens to me all the time. I always freaking get freaking mascara on my nose. So the only thing we have left to do is put on a highlight and do our lips. My lips look dead right now because, of course, as always, I put foundation on top of my lips. That way, whatever lip color I use stays on. It's almost like a primer for your lips. I'm going to be going in with Nectar, taking my highlight brush, and just getting it all in there. So you don't need to go spending like 30 bucks on a highlight. This palette will do you just fine. Look at that. I look so good. And you don't need to go spend a whole bunch of money. I know this is like a $40 palette, but seriously, it'll last you a long time. But if you don't have $40, $50, $60 to go spending on a palette, that's okay too. You can go spend $8, $10 on a palette and it will last you. You don't need a whole bunch of money to feel good. You don't need a whole bunch of money to apply your face. I promise you, it's okay if you don't have a whole collection. If you only have a palette and that's what makes you happy, then go get it. Finish everything up. I always like to apply chapstick to my lips because I don't want to get no dry lips in the middle of the day. Next, I'm going to be taking, you can use your finger. I personally like to use the other end of my naked brushes, but today I'm just going to be using my finger, and I'm going to be going through, and first I'm going to be applying Georgia to my lips, just to give it a nice base. If you don't like Georgia, if you want a dark brown, go freaking do dark brown. If you want to do purple, go do purple. But I think today, I don't know, I'm thinking about doing like a shiny color. I think I'm just going to do this candied peach, excuse me. Ooh, that's a really pretty lip color. Ooh. I got a little bit on the outside of my mouth. And that is it. This is your whole face using the Too Faced Sweet Peach palette. I hope you all love this video. Let me know what you think. Do you think there's something I could have done different? Do you think how many other looks I could create using this? I would love to hear your advice. And I would love to hear your input. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you all later. Bye!